toothpaste, wow. Swarovski, it's the crystals. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. So for today's eye look, I wanted to do a bit of a sunset moment with some cute little fluffy pink clouds. I was heavily inspired by It's Me, Kristen B on Instagram. If you don't follow her, what the heck are you doing? That's okay. You probably didn't know. It's okay. No harm to you, but go follow her now. You can follow me too if you want. I'm at GlamGeoNYC on Instagram. Why am I GlamGeoNYC? Well, because my name is Giovanna. The first 3 letters of my name are G-I-O. I live in New York City and I'm very glamorous. But that's not what this video is about. No, you did not click on this video to hear about the history of my Instagram handle, or maybe you did, in which case that's a weirdly specific thing to look for in a video of mine. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, love an anti-haul. Maybe you're a little bit anti-consumerist. Maybe you don't love makeup companies pushing new products down your throat constantly. So the concept of anti-hauls was started by Kimberly Clark, who is a drag queen and YouTuber. I was inspired to start making anti-hauls because I love Abby Williamson's anti-hauls, so I try to do them in her style. I love Abby's videos. She's so great, and I love that she always gives a disclaimer in the beginning saying that everything she says is exaggerated and, you know, it's to discourage people from over-consuming and from buying things just for the sake of having things. So I really like Abby's whole message behind why she does her anti-hauls, and I feel like I'm doing it for the same reason. So yeah, if I talk about anything today that you really are excited to get your hands on, or you may already have gotten your hands on, just know that I'm so freaking happy for you, man. I'm so happy that you were able to get that and that you love it, and it is okay for you and I to not always like the same things. That's what makes us so unique and different. I'm a Virgo. I'm not gonna like the same things as a Gemini. So with that said, if you want to see me anti-haul the latest makeup releases for September 2020, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching. It's coming at you right now. Okay, so the first item on my list here that I want to mention is actually a few brands, because apparently in the beauty world, September is when people start releasing their holiday releases. But regardless, I'm gonna try to observe them objectively as if they were not for holiday and that they were just releases that are happening. So let's start with the brand that I feel like only releases holiday releases and maybe like one other thing throughout the year. It's Too Faced. I don't know, does anyone else feel like that? I feel like we don't really hear much from Too Faced throughout the year, and maybe it's just beauty gurus slowly distancing themselves from them because the brand itself has a lot of controversies. But regardless, I went back and looked at their Instagram and it really looks like they haven't released all that much this year, but they have released like 1 million new items for the holiday 2020. So Too Faced is coming out with literally 1 million things. I was not exaggerating that. They're coming out with a salted caramel mini palette, a gingerbread spice mini palette, a cinnamon bear mini palette, and a bunch of little sets of their lip glosses and of their matte liquid lipsticks. They have a little holiday themed Better Than Sex mascara. It all looks like a bunch of baloney to me, if I'm being quite honest with you. The palettes are all just neutral palettes with like one vibrant color in them. The gingerbread palette's literally just a neutral palette with like a couple of pink tones, and then the salted caramel doesn't really have any pops of color. That's just kind of like a peachy neutral palette. And the cinnamon bear palette is like a neutral with a couple of reds in it. You know, I think with Too Faced, I mean, aside from me just not loving the brand, I think I'm just really not Too Faced's target demographic. They tend to always release neutral palettes with maybe a couple pops of color in them. And if you know me, even if you don't know me, if you can see me in this video, I am a colorful gal. I don't know what a neutral color is. I don't use them in my makeup routine, at least not so much anymore. So for me, when I see that kind of stuff from Too Faced and I see how expensive it is, I'm viscerally offended by it, but I understand how maybe the average makeup consumer would be excited by it. I do think it is a good idea to make neutral palettes with a pop of a color, because, you know, maybe you're somebody who's just getting into makeup and you're looking for a neutral palette, but you also know that there might be a time where you want to get a little more adventurous, you know, especially around the holidays. I feel like people always tend to get a little sparkly during the holidays. Do you like that little shimmy that I did? So, you know, I understand the concept. I think it makes sense from a marketing perspective. However, as I said, I'm not the target demographic for this, which is why it is in my personal anti-haul, because I would never wear any of this. I will say, however, even if this is your type of makeup, I think that it's incredibly overpriced. I think that Too Faced severely jacks up the prices of things because they know it's holiday and they know that people will buy it as gifts. And I remember watching a video of Smoky Glow's last year where she was anti-hauling a bunch of Too Faced's last year holiday makeup. And she mentioned that Too Faced always sells them at one price point and then it's like January 1st they go down, like they're like 70% off. If they have something that you are genuinely interested in for yourself, not for a gift for someone else, and you don't have a timeline on it, just wait until January, because if you're gonna get it for 70% off, I think that would be way more worth it. As I said, I think everything from toothpaste, wow. As I mentioned earlier, I think everything from Too Faced is severely overpriced. I think if you see a color story that you like, Colourpop probably makes it for a severely cheaper price, and I don't think the quality changes that much. I know people used to really like Too Faced eyeshadow formula when they had like the peach palette. My friend Amy, shout out to Amy, hello, she told me that she really likes the little peach mattes palette, and I have heard that from a lot of people that they really like that palette, but I just feel like nothing recently has really impressed anybody with Too Faced eyeshadows and beyond. I feel like I've already been talking about this for a really long time, but in conclusion, I will never be buying any of Too Faced holiday releases, and probably never anything from Too Faced in general, but especially not these holiday releases. Alright, moving right along, it wouldn't be an anti-haul video if I didn't talk about something from Colourpop. And today I have one release from Colourpop that I'm not buying anything from, and I have another thing that I'm very excited for. So the thing that I am absolutely anti-hauling and will not be buying from Colourpop is their new Coral collection. So you know those little 9-pan monochromatic palettes that it feels like they've been doing for like 8 years now, even though I don't think Colourpop's even been around for 8 years, but it feels like they've been doing those monochromatic palettes forever. And I feel like myself and the rest of the world has been wondering, when are they gonna run out of colors? Like there's only so many colors you can do monochrome, and somehow they keep finding new variations of color, and this time it's coral. And personally, I am like a coral fiend. I love corals. I love coral blush. I have a coral blush from Honest Beauty that I wear all the time. I have this Coral Obsessions palette from Huda Beauty. Like, I love anything coral. I got this little coral lip gloss from NYX. I'm a coral fiend. I literally love coral so much, and yet I'm not gonna buy this palette. I feel like with these monochromatic palettes, they try to make them so that you can use just that palette to create a look, which, you know, I get. For the average makeup user, they probably don't want to dip into 5 palettes every time they use the makeup look like I tend to do, but I just really feel like all of the colors look like repeats from other Colourpop palettes. I was actually watching Abby Williamson's last anti-haul and she was talking about the Sunflower palette, and she said that she felt like it just looked like they took a bunch of extra shades that they had lying around from other palettes and like put them all together in a new palette to sell. And I kind of feel the same with this coral palette. A lot of the shades remind me of what was in the Sweet Talk palette, which I used to really love and have since decluttered just because I wasn't reaching for it a lot, but just none of these look new to me. Another point I want to make is that I'm a little confused why they're coming out with the coral palette in the fall. Coral feels so springy to me. Like, coral is just such a spring color to me, and especially since I said this palette looks like the Sweet Talk palette to me, and they released the Sweet Talk palette in the spring of last year, I'm just like, I'm missing the connection here. And you know, it's very possible that due to the pandemic they had to push it back because the governor of California forced all of the warehouses to shut down and everything, so they just weren't able to produce anything or send it out. So who knows, maybe this is an old launch that had to be pushed ahead, and maybe that's why they're releasing it in the fall. But I did just think the color scheme was a little strange for the fall. I don't know, I feel like the more we get into fall, the more people want to wear like matte browns and burgundies and deep colors. Like, people don't tend to want to wear like pinks and corals and stuff. I don't know, that's just what my thoughts were on it, but I'm definitely going to be skipping their coral collection. However, a lot of howevers in this video today. I am incredibly excited that Colourpop announced that they're coming out with minis of their So Juicy lip glosses. So I really liked my So Juicy lip gloss. I had the clear shade, it was called Princess Cut. I recently decluttered it because it expired. It started to get a little cloudy, which was a little gross, and I only really had it for about a year, so I did find that a smidge suspicious. However, I did really like the So Juicy gloss a lot, and they have a lot of really beautiful colors that a lot of people rave about. Misa Pisa here on YouTube, if you don't follow her, you absolutely should. She's so funny. She's like the queen of lip gloss too, and she loves all of the So Juicy glosses in many different colors. So I'm excited to see that they're coming out with mini versions, because that was my only gripe with my So Juicy gloss, was that it expired very quickly, and I feel like if I had a mini I could actually get through it, because there's nothing I hate more than wasting makeup. I hate when I love a product and then it goes expired. So I think it's a brilliant idea for them to make minis, and Colourpop, what a great thing for you to do. You don't always have to come out with a new eyeshadow palette all the time. It doesn't always have to be an eyeshadow palette. You can build on stuff you already have. I don't know, I just thought that was really innovative, really good idea, and I'm a big fan of that. Speaking of 9-pan eyeshadow palettes, let's talk about this new Huda Beauty Haze collection. So Huda is coming out with 3 eyeshadow palettes. She has the Sand Haze, which is like very neutral looking colors, and then you have the Purple Haze, which is also kind of a neutral looking palette with like 1 row of purple, and then they have the Khaki Haze. That's funny. That's actually really funny to me that it's named khaki. I don't know, it's green. Is khaki green? I thought khaki was like beige. Regardless, that one's neutrals with a couple of pops of green. So kind of like what I mentioned with the Too Faced holiday makeup, neutral palettes with a couple pops of color are not my target demographic. They are not aimed at me. So I think a lot of people will like these palettes, and I'm honestly a pretty big fan of her formula. Like I mentioned before, I have the Coral Obsessions palette, and I think this formula is really, really nice. The mattes blend really well. Her shimmers are really beautiful. Oh my gosh, this shimmer and the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette is like, will go down in history as one of my favorite shimmers of all time. It's so pretty. They're so reflective. So I can definitely foresee the shimmers in here being really nice. However, how much are these? Let me see. $29. Okay, I believe I got my Coral Obsessions in an Ipsy bag, so I definitely did not pay $29 for it, and I don't think I would pay $29 for it, like as much as I like it. $29? $29. This is pretty teeny tiny for $29. I always go back to my Radioactive palette by Melolops. This is $25. It comes with 12 shades and they're all beautiful, and it comes with a mirror. Like, there's no reason that she can produce this for $25 and this costs $29. I'm too hyper aware of the fact that I'm being upcharged and I don't like it at all. So I definitely would not buy any of those palettes, both because the color schemes don't appeal to me and because I think they're overpriced. Like, the quality of these shadows is good, but it's not outstanding. It's not my favorite. By Melolops is my favorite. And also, if you want to look at a palette that has some neutrals and a few pops of color, I recommend you check out Zodiac Cosmetics. I have their Virgo palette, but all of their palettes are pretty similar from different signs. There's just like a few shades that vary. But look at this. This has this beautiful neutral row here, but it also has some beautiful pops of color. These palettes are $30, but they put them half off on sale every month that it's corresponding with your Zodiac sign. So I don't know. I just feel like if you're looking for neutrals with a pop of color, go for the indie brands because you get a lot more. The quality is better. Just comparatively, this Huda palette to the Zodiac Cosmetics palette, this is way better. Way better. Like, not even close. This is good. This is great. I just think you have better options out there. I don't think you need to spend so much money on something that is so small. Colors don't appeal to me. Man, oh man, I had a lot to complain about with those. I'm sorry, Huda Beauty. I do like some of your stuff. But for me, this collection is a pass. Okay, let's move on to something fun and kind of unusual. I don't know. I think this was an unusual release. Pat McGrath is releasing the Crystal Lip Kit, which comes with 3 different sizes of red Swarovski. I'm not gonna say it right. Swarovski. I clearly just outed myself as not a rich woman because I don't know how to say Swarovski. It's the crystals. It's the crystals. The big crystal brand. So it comes with 3 different sizes of those crystals, an applicator pen, duo adhesive, and a mini Elizon matte lipstick, which I guess is like a red lipstick. And guess how freaking much it is? 75 US American dollars. Oh my god, that is such a ridiculous price point for what you get. Oh my god. Actually, I heard about this release because my friend Lexi, shout out to Lexi if you're watching this, she pointed out that if you bought all of these things separately, it would still be less than $75. Like, even if you still bought the Pat McGrath lipstick. Like, what? I don't understand how they decided upon this price point. Is it the crystals that are expensive? As I said before, I'm not a rich woman. I don't know how much Swarovski stop it. I don't know how much those crystals cost, but I do know that if you take your little booty down to Michael's and look in their crystals section, then you can find something incredibly similar. The duo adhesive is incredibly inexpensive, and even that Pat McGrath lipstick on its own is probably less money, or just pick whatever red lipstick you already have. I don't know. I love that Pat McGrath is like a very editorial. They're a little avant-garde, they're a little unusual, and I love that about Pat McGrath. I think Pat McGrath is such a talented makeup artist, and I love that she came out with a kit to try to give you the editorial look at home. However, I think it's incredibly overpriced. I think you can very easily recreate it with stuff you already have in your own collection. You already have a lash glue, you already have a red lipstick, great, just go to Michael's and get some crystals, and then you're done, and you only had to spend $3 instead of 75 freaking dollars. Oh my gosh, who decided on the price point? I know all of her stuff is expensive, but that's beyond expensive, and I was upset when I saw the price, and I definitely will not be purchasing this kit. All right, let's talk about a collab with a person that I had to Google because I did not know who she was. So Morphe is collaborating with Madison Beer, who according to Google is a singer-songwriter. She seems like she's very talented, you know, she's very pretty. So Morphe is collaborating with her because clearly they see that they can make a lot of money with her. She has like 20 million followers on Instagram, so it's pretty cut and dry that Morphe decided to collaborate with her because they knew they could sell a lot of product. And I know this because if you look at the product that she created, it's a neutral eyeshadow palette, which is fine. As I keep saying, I know I am not the target demographic of a neutral eyeshadow palette. However, it's like, why are you doing it? I mean, we know why Morphe's doing it. Morphe has become a collab brand. I can't remember the last time they released something that was just from their brand. I feel like they exclusively do collabs now, which is like, you know, probably good for business. I'm sure they sell a lot of stuff because the stans are gonna buy stuff no matter what, you know, they don't care what it is. As a makeup lover, I crave originality, and sometimes I don't like products, but I know it's just because it's not my type of colors or something, but I do get a little disheartened when it just feels like they really just release the same neutral eyeshadow palettes with different people's names on it. They switch up the packaging a little bit. They maybe throw like one unusual new product in it. Like I think they have sprays. Yeah, they released some luminous setting sprays, which is, you know, somewhat interesting. However, they are $18, which I think is wildly overpriced. Their luminous setting sprays remind me of my Fourth Ray Beauty Glisten Up Mist, which is only $12, so I don't know, 18 is just too much. I feel like Morphe has gotten more and more expensive. Morphe is becoming a collab brand, but they are also like moving further and further away from being an affordable brand, and I feel like they're upping their prices because they're collabing with people and they know that the fans will buy it no matter what, and these are just all things that I do not like at all. So of course I'm not gonna buy anything from here. You can probably safely assume I'll never buy anything from Morphe. I've only ever bought one thing from Morphe. I bought the James Charles palette 2 years ago because I wanted to start getting into colorful makeup, and at the time it really worked for me, and then I realized as I bought more eyeshadow palettes that Morphe's formula, not all that great. It's not a very good formula. Honestly, it's pretty patchy. I didn't really like anything all that much. I ended up decluttering that palette. I'm definitely gonna be anti-hauling this collection, and I encourage you that even if you are a Madison Beer fan, like, you know, you don't have to buy somebody's eyeshadow palette just because you're a fan of them. If you really like the colors, if these colors really speak to you, if these setting sprays really speak to you, then you do you, but don't feel like you have to buy it just to support her. She has 20 million Instagram followers. I'm sure she has plenty of money. You'll catch her on the next one, you know? All right, that's every item on my list. It's the end of the video. We don't need the list anymore. I've spoken about everything that I wanted to speak about. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked this anti-haul. I always have a lot of fun doing them. I hope you liked this video. Be sure to let me know down below what you are anti-hauling this month. Is there anything that I didn't speak about that you wish I would have spoken about? Is there anything that I spoke about that I have highly offended you because you want to buy that? Try not to be offended. It's okay. You know, you can still buy that. I'm not telling you you can't buy anything. I'm not holding your wallet. I don't have your wallet. I can't prevent you from buying anything. And if I did have your wallet, I certainly wouldn't spend the money on makeup. If my FBI agent is listening, I would never steal anyone's credit card and use it for fraud, ever, ever, ever. This video is getting real wild at the end here. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely leave me a comment down below, like this video, subscribe. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to check out my description box for everything on my face today, as well as a ton of Black Lives Matter resources, including petitions to sign, places to donate, and ways to help protesters. Please make sure you're staying involved on what's going on in your country and helping in any way that you can. I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!